So I realized my business offer was too weak. So I'm fixing the entire business transformation now. I realized I had the wrong offer. And here is how I'm working through the real problem that I solved. Because if I don't solve this in the correct way, this could go from a $20 a month to $50 a month to a $100, $200 a month program. So here, let's dive in. I'm Jeff. I'm an outdated analyst working for a Fortune 5 healthcare company, rebuilding my tech stack from scratch, taking advantage of AI, and looking for opportunities as I navigate through everything. So, this is my thinking channel. I'm going to be working towards what I offer and how I niche down and what my USP is, which is basically unique selling proposition, which basically what makes you unique compared to everyone else. Why wouldn't anyone watch you? And what services do you offer that makes you unique compared to everyone else inside the market? So let's dive into it. And this has been something previously we worked through what the transformation was going to be, and I was going to help healthcare workers become the most technical person and not get replaced by AI. But I've been thinking about this for the last few days that I don't think it's strong enough. And this is just my intuition, even though I've been talking to ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, just to confirm my thoughts, is when you're going into a niche, it has to be a painful enough pain that it keeps them up at night and that you solving it is something that they will gladly pay for. And healthcare workers, while it is desirable, it's not the most desirable outcome and focus of my attention. So that's what I've been struggling with recently, and why I'm revisiting this again, because it is important. I've been part of businesses where we don't hone in on this correctly, and then we spend a lot of time figuring this out, and then we ultimately don't figure it out, and you don't make any money, or you barely make any money. So here, we're going back to this, is what transformation am I promising people? And this is what I was struggling with. I was trying to figure this out again. Oh, the Bluetooth is messing up. Okay. Okay. It's good now. So what transformation am I promising people? And specifically, what is the outcome that I'm offering that's painful enough, that keeps people at night, that's desirable enough, and financially meaningful enough to build a real business around? And I thought that I figured this out, but this week I've just been thinking about it. I've been hesitating, and that hesitation was something that ended up being a gift because it made me dig deeper and work with ChatGPT, ask more drilling questions, and then finally hone in on where I want to head and how we figured it out. So it showed me that our offer and our transformation just it wasn't strong enough. And this is how I came to it, because before we were going to build like a healthcare automation lab where we're going to help healthcare workers automate the work, save time, which helps them with their burnout, but and then help them not get replaced by AI, but the pain isn't enough because they actually have jobs. So, and whenever I feel like that tension of not knowing if it's the right way to go, I still dig into it more to figure out, to hone into it until I feel better about where we're heading. And from building things in the past, I've had wins, I've had failures, so I have a intuition on what's going to work and what doesn't. So here are the things that I was asking myself. Is the problem big enough? Is the problem big? Is the transformation clear? Because if people don't know what you specifically deliver, because one of the things that we were coming up with was become the most technical person in the room, and that isn't tangible enough. That's not specific enough. So, what is the clear transformation? What is the pain and the outcome that we solve for? So here we had manual work, burnout, getting replaced by AI. But is that enough of an outcome from starting from scratch to going to their new outcome to be able to be worth a lot? Because if you're inside the data analyst niche, helping somebody who's a new grad, helping somebody who's a career changer go from starting out to actually breaking into the industry unlocks a lot, because it is a fast way, or not a fast way, but it is a way to get to data jobs and data roles that will get you over the 100K salary mark. So that was just thinking, do I want to focus 10 years of this business in this direction on the wrong thing? So that's why I had to keep on drilling on this to make sure that I was going the right way. And here's what I initially thought the transformation was. I thought it was going to be healthcare workers save time, automate work, and not get replaced by AI. Not a bad outcome, but still not painful enough, because this is still valuable. You can still create a good business around this, but it doesn't feel big enough to build a premium community around. So the hesitation I was feeling was, yes, helping people saves time, that's good. Helping them reduce burnout is good, but those aren't tied to the outcomes that someone loses sleep over. They're not the outcomes that people are going to invest $100 a month into. So we have to make it clear, and that hesitation is why I kept on digging and doing more research and trying to hone in on this a lot more. So the back and forth that I had initially was, it basically was over 2 days. And every time that I would confirm with ChatGPT or Gemini, it felt they were giving me what I wanted to hear, but I had a feeling that we were off. So then I had to keep on asking questions if it didn't feel like this was the right direction. And then it hit me was that we were trying to serve two different people with one offer. So basically, there's two audiences here. It's going to be healthcare workers and career switchers. And then from these two audiences, healthcare workers want to save time. They want to feel safe with AI. They want to stop drowning in manual work. They want to get more technical. And then maybe they want to get promoted, and maybe it can lead to raises. But they're not, most of them are not going to be willing to leave their current jobs to break into analytics, but they do want the relief from the burnout and the manual work. Career switchers, they want to get into healthcare analytics, and they want to break into entry-level analyst roles and eventually break that 100K mark. They want to build a portfolio, they'll gain real experience, and they want to make a career change. Also, the one thing that you want to validate too, when you're going into market, is how much products are in the market for these two segments. So when I look at the products and like how much of the consumer spending between like healthcare workers and career switchers, there are so many more products for career switchers. There are coding boot camps, BI boot camps, data analyst boot camps, and these are not cheap. These are anywhere from 5,000 to I think I've seen 50,000 for like a premium service with coaching and career coaching. And then you also have college. There's college programs for like data analytics, data science, And depending on the school that you go to, you could go to a private school and end up paying 100K for your degree. But if you go to state school and you get out in time, anywhere from like 20 to 30K. And then you have all of the courses on Udemy. You have courses, and there's a lot of companies. There's DataCamp, I can't remember the DataCamp, Coursera, Udemy, and LinkedIn Learning, Pluralsight. There's a bunch of these data specific or near data specific courses. Plus, you have all the certifications. For healthcare workers, this is surprisingly lacking, and there's not as many. You have more of these general boot camps, but you do still have healthcare analytics, healthcare informatics, and those courses and those degrees do charge a lot of money. But then it also ends up into the same general data analytics with the healthcare specialty, but not targeting healthcare workers specifically. So then you want to see what people are already paying for. So then that was one of the other things that made me second guess, are we heading in the right direction? So now when you look at this, you can see why the transformation felt weak. I was trying to talk to two audiences with two different pains and two different payoffs. So realizing that, now I had that breakthrough moment, and then I had the real problem that I wanted to solve. So now I had to choose between the two audiences. And then so when I separated them out, it made more sense of who I should target. Healthcare workers need skills, they need automation, they need time savings, but are they the people who are going to join a high ticket community? Do they want financial transformation? And the people who do are going to be the career switchers, the people trying to break into data analytics. So what I'd be doing instead is, instead of just data analytics, the vehicle for the business is breaking into data analytics with a healthcare focus. So healthcare analytics for career switchers. So healthcare analytics. Those are already a proven segment across a lot of different businesses that I looked into already that are paying for this and paying high ticket items for this, because it unlocks a higher salary route, and it's something that keeps them up at night. Because a lot of people trying to break into the industry, they're literally going through hundreds and thousands of applications and not making it through because the market is tough right now. And so they're literally staying up late at night, wondering if they're going to make rent, wondering if they're going to be able to break into this, and you're wondering if they wasted tens of thousands of dollars of trying to break into here. So the pain is bigger compared to healthcare workers. And one of the things that I also realize is the biggest thing, just from helping a lot of people now, or helping a lot more people personally and like getting to see the nuances, is people don't have any experience. No experience. So that is the hole in the market, and that's the real problem. So that is what, and the vehicle that I'm basing the whole transformation on now. The transformation is breaking into a data analytics route in healthcare. So healthcare analytics, we'll just say HA for healthcare analytics, but doing it through getting experience first. Because my thought is, if you can solve the experience route, it makes things significantly easier. Because I've seen recruiters, I've seen various people do resume breakdowns, and even if the resume isn't optimized, it looks terrible, there's typos. If they had top-notch experience, they'll bring them in for an interview, or they'll be like, oh, they had Amazon experience, they had Facebook Meta experience, plus all of this other stuff. it's okay that it's not optimized or written in a way that best positions their value, because the value is already in the company and the experience that they have. So now it's figuring out how to get this experience for the community members, and then that is going to be the new promise and the new transformation, because that is the hole in the market currently. So now that we have the transformation, it's how do we position the community in a way that looks is valuable enough for them to stay and get 10x their value on what they're paying for. So now when you look at one of the most successful school communities, they're making, I think Nick, it's called Maker School. Their promise is in 90 days get your first AI automation client. He's making, I think across his two communities, $450,000 a month, monthly. So how can I model that in a way that doesn't promise a job, because legally we can't promise jobs. It's more scrutinized. Client is different than a job. So then it will be talking about landing on get real healthcare analytics experience in 90 days so you can get hired faster without needing to go back to school. So that is the initial foundation, and that's the promise. And that's one of the angles that nobody's digging into, and it's also hard to promise that, or hard to solve that. And I've uniquely been in this position of learning how to get the experience and seeing people like how to build the experience to break into various industries. So I'm going to use that knowledge to put into the program. And now it's just thinking about, okay, how do I change the messaging across all of the different channels and platforms that I have currently? So we have this channel, which is the Outdated Analyst, which is basically my thinking channel, building in public, learning new skills, and then working out all the different struggles that I'm going through in real time. So that not only is it like a nice time capsule, but it also keeps me accountable at least every weekday, so I can keep moving forward and not just thinking and not doing anything and not taking action. So we're just going to keep documenting, thinking, building tools here, exploring, pivoting, working through problems, and then making basically this is for me so I can yap and think to myself. And also get the reps of being able to record nearly every day, because I need that, but I can't inundate my main channel, the Get a Data Job channel, with this content because the algorithm will tank. So then I get to attract a different long form audience that likes more the behind the scenes podcast style. And then Get a Data Job will be more higher production quality, scripted, shorter videos, well thought out, more highly better edited for that audience, specifically diving into the pain points for attracting the new audience that wants to break into data analytics, but we're going to do it through healthcare specifically. And then so Get a Data Job is going to be clean content, tutorials, healthcare analytics projects, portfolio builds, and then SQL, Python, Power BI for healthcare, and then also diving into how AI is changing the industry. And then whatever we're naming the accelerator, because I'm working with changing the name. Initially, we were changing it to Healthcare Automation Lab, but that's probably going to change too. But basically, 90-day transformation, real experience, and then fixing people's projects, and then showing them what it actually takes to get a client so that you can get experience, and then how much outreach it takes. So I've been building that out currently. So throughout this whole process, it just made me realize that even with working with AI, you still need the base skills and knowledge to know when AI is wrong. So this is because I had the foundational marketing skills and experience to know this isn't exactly where we're heading. It's good, but it's not great. So then now remember that the foundational skills mean something. So build that along with building with AI so that you know if the direction that AI is taking is the right direction. And then also ask better questions. The better questions that you can ask, the better that the AI will come back. And then think of it as a team member that you're working with, that you don't entirely, they're smart, but you still need to creatively think through various problems that you're running into. So that's what we're going to go through. I don't know exactly how this is going to go yet because I'm going to be testing on the main channel. It's just going to be action right now and then see how the market responds. And if you want to follow the entire journey and be a part and try to break into healthcare and then be a part of the initial coaching, link in the description below to join the accelerator or the automation lab. I'm building the community first and testing out with the community. So join us, just apply. And then if you're accepted, I'd love to have you and work with you personally. And yeah, I'm going to just go rest and then work on this soon. So I'll see you in the next video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe.